Okay, we're going to talk about the molecular weight stoichiometry, so the chemistry math involving molecular weight. So a type of question that can be asked is, how many moles of water are there in 76.2 grams of water? So remember that water has a chemical formula of H2O. And from that chemical formula, we're going to be able to determine what its molecular weight is. So on the periodic table, you have hydrogen that has an atomic weight of 1.01. If we were talking about one atom of hydrogen, that one atom of hydrogen weighs 1.01 atomic mass units. These are units that are teeny tiny. We can't weigh them out on a traditional scale. So the mole was created to go from the microscopic atomic level to the macroscopic, and we're going to get there by using Avogadro's number. So to go from microscopic to macroscopic, instead of saying one atom weighs 1.1 AMU, 1 mole of hydrogen atoms weighs 1.01 grams. Now this 1.01 is not talking about AMU, it's talking about the atomic weight in terms of grams per mole. So 1 mole of hydrogen atoms weighs, or exactly is equal to 1.01 grams. So we're going, and oxygen, same thing. If we look on the periodic table, we have oxygen, and underneath it has an atomic weight of 16. If we were talking about one oxygen atom, that would be 16 AMU. If we're talking about 1 mole of oxygen atoms, that weighs 16 grams. So the molecular weight, the molar mass, we're talking about how many moles, how many grams are there in 1 mole of water. So from the last video, you know that 1 mole of water contains 2 moles of hydrogen atoms because of that subscript, as well as 1 mole of oxygen atoms. Again, because of that subscript. There's no subscript, it's assumed that it's a subscript of 1. So that means that 1 mole of water weighs 2 times the atomic mass of water in grams, plus 1 times the atomic mass of oxygen in grams. So 1 mole of water weighs 18.02 grams. That's the conversion factor. We can write it out as the conversion factor, or we can say the molecular weight of water is 18.02 grams per mole. So now I wanted to know, how many moles of water are there in 76.2 grams of water? So 76.2 grams goes on the outside. And from the molecular weight, from the addition up of all the atoms in there, we get 18.02 grams of water in 1 mole of water. Double check your dimensional analysis. Make sure that everything cancels as it should. Grams of water cancels with grams of water. Note that I'm keeping my units and my label. We're going to be left with units of moles of water. That comes over here. So we're going to take 76.2 divided by 18.02. We get an answer of 4.23 moles of water. We can use this conversion factor to go the other way. If I were to ask you how many grams of water are there in 156 moles of water. Let's say for some reason I was doing a chemical reaction and I knew that I needed 156 moles of water. How would I know what to go into the lab to actually weigh out, something we can actually measure in the lab? Well, 156 moles of water go on the outside. From the molecular weight, from the addition up of the atomic weights, we know that 1 mole of water is equivalent to 18.02 grams of water. So 156 times 18.02, 2,810, watching my significant figures, grams of water. So the significant figures, just to review, there's 3 significant figures in my measurement, there's 3 significant figures in my answer. So that's the stoichiometry of molecular weight and how to use molecular weight as a tool to get you from grams to moles and back again.